He says he was kicked out of a cab because he didn't have cash, but what he did have should have gotten him a free ride.
State officials investigated and agree. KTV 11's Lauren Maxwell has been following this case. So Lauren, why the free ride?
Well, what Corey Martin has is a Medicaid voucher, and that means when he comes into Anchorage from the town of Chistochina, where he lives, for his medical appointments, he can use it to take a taxi to his doctor's office, pick up a prescription, or get a ride to his hotel. Now, the voucher is supposed to cover the cost of the ride, but that's not what one driver told him before he kicked him out. It's been over a year since Corey Martin broke his back.
Ford Explorer fell on top of me while I was changing a flat tire, got pinned underneath, and, you know, it was a pretty bad ordeal.
Doctors prescribed some serious painkillers.
Yeah, they got me on hydromorphone, 4 milligram. They had me on hydrocodone, 10 milligram.
They also gave him this, a Medicaid voucher.
But this is what they give me.
Last month, Martin tried to use the voucher for the first time. He had no problem getting a taxi to the doctors from his hotel in Midtown, or using the voucher from the doctors to the Midtown Walgreens. Once he had his prescription, he called for another cab.
And told them it was Corey Martin again, and I had a voucher and need a ride back to the hotel.
And that's where the trouble began.
The cab driver showed up, and I put my items in the cab. I get in, hand him the vouchers, and he just starts taking on driving.
Martin says the driver wouldn't take the voucher and demanded cash. When he apologized for not having money, the driver cursed and threatened him before dropping him off in a parking lot in the dark.
He whipped into the parking lot here, and I kept asking him, well, where am I? You know, tell me where am I? Which way do I go? Where's Springhill Suites?
Martin started walking in the direction of where he thought his hotel was. His back was killing him, and he couldn't make sense of what had happened.
You know, no one deserves dropped off at negative 15 below zero, 9 o'clock at night in a strange, unfamiliar area.
State Medicaid officials agree what happened to Martin wasn't right.
No one should be subject to what he was subject to.
They also say it's happened before, mostly with drivers who don't know the rules.
We investigate every single one of them. And if it turns out that a provider hasn't been educated, we make sure that that happens the same day so it doesn't happen to another person.
In this case, the driver had already been let go. The state says it's satisfied with how the incident was handled.
There's a right way and a wrong way to treat people in life. You know, that's what it boils down to.
Martin says, for the most part, he is too. Now, it's hard to say how big this problem is or how often it's reported. The state says it happens just every once in a while, but Martin says he's heard from others who've had similar experiences. And in fact, just today, we received a call from a woman from a village outside of Nome who says she had a frightening experience with an Anchorage cab driver who wouldn't take her Medicaid voucher, and that's now being investigated by the police.
All right, thanks so much, Lauren Maxwell. All right, coming up.
Awesome. I didn't do bad, did I?
When it comes to recycling.
There's a material that is no longer considered trash.
And a man is arraigned from a crash
That was
last year
recorded.
that killed a 10-year-old.